there music here? I can't tell if there's music here. I guess there is. Maybe there's just not music here? Interesting. Anyways, hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf, and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Not much to say. We had a very hilarious encounter with Julia Bardera. I think I'm mixing up her her actual name with her alias. Her real name is Julia, and her last maybe Barbara or something like that. Bardera, something like that. Her fake name is Yuria Harudera. So that's actually kind of hard to keep track of. I can't remember off the top of my head, but JB for short. We met her, it was hilarious, and then we had a hilarious encounter with Amane afterwards. And Michidu. So I enjoyed that. I just love how sassy Yuji is. But we're continuing. No matter what sort of life you're living, you'll run into people who just won't listen to what you have to say. When words don't get through, the easiest alternative is beating them in submission. Certainly a bit of a rough solution, but when you're dealing with another man, it's at least an option. But when you're dealing with a woman, let alone a shrimp of a girl who doesn't come up to your shoulder, it's a different story. If you start swinging your fists around out of irritation under those circumstances, anyone would call it bullying the weak. It's bad style. Leaves an unpleasant taste in your mouth, too. What's called for in such situations is perseverance and patience. They're always saying we live in an age of technological wonders, so I've been waiting for someone to invent a machine you can stick on your back and switch to Zen-like, instantly granting yourself infinite self-control. But despite the clear market potential, the world isn't yet such a convenient place. Well, no big deal. I'm pretty used to endurance tests by now. Hi, Makina. How are you today? It's been 5 minutes since I spotted Irisu Makina wandering aimlessly around the campus and called out, "What are you up to?" in a casual tone. On the right side, she reacted to my voice and stopped dead in her tracks instead of fleeing, but the next step is proving a little more problematic. The girl's just staring up at my face. She hasn't said a word. Can you not speak Japanese? Silent as always, Makina shakes her head back and forth in denial, apparently having understood my question. Is there... What's up with the frickin' sound? What's... on? Why is my sound off? That's weird. My sound is just straight up off on my computer. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Oh. Okay, I'm dumb. So you guys were probably hearing the music the entire time and thinking I was so dumb. But, my headphones have two parts. This cord here plugs into my computer and to my headset. And the headset cord wasn't plugged in all the way. And so the music was playing, I just couldn't hear it. Oh man, I feel dumb. Alright, I'm keeping that in, I don't care. Alright, well, this sounds better now. Are you afraid of me, maybe? Her silence continues, and this time there's neither confirmation nor denial. Seems unlikely that she didn't understand the question, which would mean this one is an uncertain territory somewhere between yes and no, as far as I can guess. I'm repeating myself, but this sort of communication takes a lot of patience and persistence. I try to consciously consider things from Makina's point of view. A transfer student with an unclear background, what's more, a man 178 centimeters high. From the perspective of Makina, who I'd guessed to be around 140 centimeters, it might as well be a little intimidating to have me towering above her. For the moment, I crouch down so that my eyes are level with hers. It seemed like you were wandering around the grounds. Are you looking for something? Nope. Makina speaks a single word in a quiet voice and once again shakes her head in denial. Then what were you doing? That's a point of some interest to me, but, well, if you get down to it, wherever she is and whatever she's doing is her own business, I suppose. I'm not a policeman, and I don't have any reason to drag it out of her. In this case, it might be best to find some words to wrap this up cleanly, give her a friendly goodbye, and let this timid creature be on her way. But just as I reach this conclusion, Makina slowly moves her hand to the rear of her skirt, grabs something with her stubby fingers, and pushes it in front of my eyes. Huh? What's this thing? At a glance, the item in Makina's small hand is a toy-like object roughly the size of an egg, with an LCD screen buried into the center. A digital pet. What's that? On closer examination, there's some unknown life form or monster, most closely resembling a chick meaning bird, I suppose, chick like baby chicken, displayed in blocky pixels on the central LCD. It seems to be programmed some cheap animations, about 3 patterns or so. Ah, come to think of it, I remember reading a news article about this a few years ago. After developing the smallest 3-axis geomagnetism sensor in the world at the time, a certain company fed the technology into a children's electronic toy, which then became an explosive hit among grade schoolers. It's a pedometer, right? One of those things where the pet grows up faster the more you walk? Yeah, that's it. Nodding her head, Makina returns the pedometer in her hand to her waist. In other words, she wasn't looking for anything in particular. Her wandering itself was the objective. Walking's a good thing, since it's aerobic exercise without too much strain on the joints. And if you're going to walk anyway, having some sort of visible result from the effort might make it feel more worthwhile. Well, I don't really want to go outside that much. Makina points at the school gate as she speaks. I see. It makes sense that she'd want to avoid crowded places, giving her extreme shyness. That would restrict her strolls to pacing around the school grounds, which would quickly get repetitive. So the digital pet serves as a distraction from that boredom. Most likely. You like taking walks? Sorta. Kinda. Sorta, is it? Well, walking for fun at this age might be a little odd. Seems more like the hobby of an old man. Have any other interests? Like reading, for example? Read any books lately? Books? Manga's fine too, whatever. To tell the truth, I had already heard from Mamane that Makina often reads books, and reading is a hobby of mine as well. I think it's a decent common topic for starters. In response to my question, Makina holds her right index finger to her chin and mumbles, while gazing up at the sky. A quiz book. Quiz, huh? Was it interesting? What's the dangerous sweet that's life-threatening to observe with the naked eye? Huh? Life-threatening to observe with the naked eye? What kind of death ray weapon is that? And a sweet of all things? Some new tech from the West? What the? Just looking at it is dangerous. Would mean it's probably some variety of optical weapon? Something like an X-ray possessing mass? Or some sort of beam saber style light-based killing tool? No, wait. If just seeing it is dangerous, some sort of super weapon that radiates a pulse to the receptors of the eyeball, using a flickering pattern to simulate the brain cells and trigger accelerated apoptosis? Apoptosis? Hold it. This thing is a sweet, right? A sweet? Where the hell do we go from there? All I'm getting is some sort of chocolate pastry shooting out a mysterious beam of light. Pew, pew, pew! Don't know, I give up. What's the answer? Candy! What? Candy! See and die! That should be the slogan for all candy ever. Candy! You see it and you die! See and die. Oh, I get it. I missed that angle. Candy. Can I go now? Yeah, sorry to hold you up. Without even a bye or later, Makina leaves the area at a trot, as if fleeing from me. Doesn't seem like she outright hates me, though. Isn't it the opposite? How long have you been there? Since the part about candy, I think. What do you mean by the opposite? Well, you know, her shyness is definitely a part of it, but I think Makina's trying to not be disliked by you. Trying to not be disliked? Makina's really a more cheerful girl, but she's often so energetic that it gets on people's nerves, so she's holding back. Huh. Sure enough, I remember seeing her rushing around brandishing a cicada and cackling that first time. If that's her normal state, then the way she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberate self-restraint, but... if she's holding back, isn't it proof that she's consciously trying to avoid being hated by you? I think it could be interpreted as simple fear as well. Well, half out of fear does sound about right, but I think that'd be alright. What makes you say that? When you were talking with Makina just now, you squatted down to talk to her face-to-face, right? That's actually pretty effective. Huh. Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults and found myself on the brink of tears. When one of the adults stooped down to talk with me face-to-face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person," or complaining about what an idiot I was, but... Right. Right. I'm pretty tall myself and all, and Makina really didn't take to me at first. It took me a good month to figure out that trick of bending over when I talked to her. And now she's glued to you, or something like that. Well, she's definitely gotten attached to me, but it's not like we're together constantly. Makina's the type that fundamentally likes to play alone. And the girl's got some pretty fierce mood swings, too. Don't take this the wrong way, but if I was with her constantly, I'd get worn out pretty fast. Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that? I can't explain it too well, but she's kind of like a cat. When she wants your attention, she'll meow and cuddle up to you, but the instant she gets bored, she'll be gone like that. That's actually a pretty decent way of explaining it, huh? Her hair's all fluffy and curly, her body's flexible and soft, her temperature's high so it's warm when you hug her, and she's got that mildly sweet scent. Very cat-like, don't you think? A cat. I see. Well, she might seem a little blunt until she gets used to you, but she's really not a bad kid. Try to make friends. I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, I'll try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred, or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, I won't be liked or come to like anyone either. Maintaining emotional distance along appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. Of course, there are always those careless puppy dog types who'll leap into your arms wagging their tails right from the start. What? What are you staring at my face for? Well, just thinking about how beautiful you are. Got in the mood for a kiss? Alright, Amane, close your eyes. Okay. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation, Amane closes her eyes and thrusts out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silently, I make good my getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness. Huh? Hey! Where are you going? You tease! I see. Makina may have the right idea. Leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amane. It's not that I hate you. I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. God, I love this guy so much. He's so hilarious. God, he's so great. Read books in a well-lit area. That was a teaching of my master's. At the time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or a dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm not still good with direct sunlight. Or I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyway. Aren't I adorable? Ooh. Nice timing on the music. That might have just been a coincidence, but I like the soundtrack. It's so, like... This is so, like, casual. I love it. The vibe of this game has just been so casual so far, but it's got, like, the undertones of something weird going on, and I love that. No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admissions guide pamphlet. On the coded three-fold brochure, there's a bird's-eye view illustration of the campus, with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse annotated, Planned Site of Library Construction. Planned site, meaning there isn't a library yet, I guess. Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 200 books. You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular, and apparently a bookmobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while. But it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing. Whoa, what? A rose garden is absolutely essential for a school attended by young ladies. At the entrance ceremony every year, the seniors can pin the roses they grew themselves on the chests of the new students. I love the echo effect they have, too. How beautiful! Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's really nice. That's a nice little touch they just added there. And the echo effect as well. And the romantic sound effect. That was nice. And the animation. Or so I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you got room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant. But telling her that would probably just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a good day, One-sama, the next time I see her. A rose garden, eh? I don't have any interest in inedible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by these silly thoughts, I decide to head towards the rose garden for the first and only time. They call it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot, and there is even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer. Well, not like I came to see roses in the first place, so whatever. Oh, hey. It's a sleeping machina! Is she sleeping on a... What, is that a cat that she's sleeping on, or is that like a cat pillow, or what? That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No, more importantly, what the heck is she doing? I approached silently and touched Makina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amane in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping? Wait, this thing is a cat? I think? A large cat is serving as the soundly sleeping Makina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance, so it is an actual cat. Sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I draw close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like miniature radar antennas. That's cute. And it's not like overly revealing or anything, it's just a cute picture. I appreciate that. My next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. I see. Oh, that's such a good touch! Oh, that's such a good touch! Oh, I love that. This game is so polished! I see. It's definitely nice and cool here. The breeze and the leaves animation. Ah! Oh, God, this game is so polished and I love it. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Makina, I expect she was wandering around by herself as per usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into sudden sleep on the spot. I watched the partially gnawed apple on Makina's chest rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. I noticed that Makina's mouth was half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention her hair is a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? As I look down upon her, Makina suddenly snuffles noisily. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even if, as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching, discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place also wells up within me. Oh, hey, cat. At that moment, I sense someone watching me, and look over and find that Makina's pillow cat is woken and is staring up at me in surprise. Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noise, and sit down under a tree a little ways away. Phew. Wandering around as she pleases, then falling asleep in the nearest cool place when she gets tired. I see. She certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm envious. That's not sarcasm or anything. I'm genuinely envious of Makina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of naturally peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying, and it's probably very precious to her as well. Which might well be why she doesn't want to step outside this sanctuary of a school when she can avoid it. Inside this sanctuary that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I too can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. What? Turning towards the sound, I noticed the fat white cat from before appearing from the direction of the thicket I just left. Rustling its way through the foliage on its stubby legs, it stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree. Glaring at me with sleeping-looking eyes, it lets out a single disgruntled meow. That is a very loud meow, and long meow. My bad. After getting suddenly awoken in the middle of a pleasant nap, it's only natural. If I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning by some pushy religious solicitors, I'm sure I'd make a similar face. Although the fat cat doesn't seem to have accepted my apology, he snuffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat's dignified exit, the bushes start to rustle again. I hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening and lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Makina is crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Makina opens her mouth, holds down a yawn, and rubs roughly at the tears spilling out of the corner of her eyes. After a restless look around the area, she draws herself up off the ground. It's not like I'm doing anything I need to be ashamed of, but before I realize it, I've hidden myself from her. She looks so doofy in that picture. After standing stock still for a moment, Makina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off briskly. Where's she off to now? Doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow Makina. There's no regularity to Makina's actions. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and head off in a different direction. Doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever her whims take her. I love doing that, like just exploring randomly. Unfortunately, that randomness makes it pretty rough to tailor. It wouldn't be a serious problem if she noticed me, but if I just call out to her now, I have the feeling she'll scamper off again. I skillfully hide my presence and continue shadowing her movements. Tailing a girl without her knowledge. Objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. Just as I'm finally starting to get fed up with following Makina's directionless rambling, which resembles the random staggering of a sleepwalker more than anything else, the rare wandering monster in question comes to a sudden halt. Her resting place is an area on the outskirts of the school courtyard, in front of an artificial cement pond of uncertain purpose. Makina totters her way up to the pond, thrusts her hand in the pocket of her skirt to retrieve some half-eaten white bread, and starts tearing off chunks to throw into the water. This is quite cute. I like these little drawings they have. Every time Makina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, a loud splashing sound resonates from the surface of the water. Apparently someone stocked it with fish, and she's feeding them. Eat it all up. Get nice and plump. Is she fattening them up to eat? Clawfish! Clawfish? I love the drawings! That's so good! It's so cute! Come on! Oh, I love that! And the little... I almost said clawfish. The little crawfish's expression. Oh, I love... And Makina's glowing eyes. Oh, that's so great. Makina looks around the area rapidly, grabs a short tree branch lying nearby, then leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking into the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she's trying to capture a crawfish she spotted in the pond. Just a little... Clawfish, just a little closer. Come here. Just a little side note from a game design perspective. I wonder if that just a little bit, like sign that it shows on her face there, I wonder if that's actually part of the game, like it says just a little bit there, or if that's translated. I bet it's translated, but I wonder. It's probably translated. But that's an interesting point to think about. This looks risky. Given her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon if I just sit here. I approach Makina from behind and call out to her. Hey, watch out or you'll fall in that pond. Oh man, and they changed the background too, and all the faces. Oh my god. It's like every single voice line that changes the scenario actually changes the animation or the drawing. That's so good. I love that. That's great. I guess I shouldn't have called to her out of nowhere. Makina's hand slips from the ground in a stereotypical slapstick pratfall. Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Makina, I firmly seize the collar of her school uniform and pull her back to safety. Dangled by the nape of her neck like a kitten, Makina lets out a feline cry. You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? There isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I'm always carrying. Given this weight and size, I could lug her a good 25 kilometers in a single day. Let me down. Oh, sorry. You startled me. Shocking girls ain't right, you know. I wasn't planning to call out to you, but it's better than letting you fall into the pond, isn't it? Yeah. Thanks for helping me. No need to thank me. I did the natural thing, given the circumstances. Look at me shamelessly doing a life-saving hero number, despite being in large part responsible for the problem in the first place. I might have I might have the makings of an American politician. That is so true! Oh my god. Sorry, Americans. Machina gives a quick bow of thanks, and without another word starts to run away from me yet again. Hey, hold it. Where do you think you're going? Huh? Don't give me why are you running away from me? I'm not really running away or anything. Do you need something? When she asks me point blank, it's not like I have any particular justification for detaining her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to be avoided this blatantly. At the very least, if there's a reason she's doing this, I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me? Not really. If there's some reason why you're avoiding me, how about telling me? If possible, I'll try to address it. Again with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently, I squat down to match my line of sight with Machina's. Do you remember my name? Kazami Yuji. That's right. Yuji's fine. First name's kinda embarrassing. Okay, then call me what you want. Then... Oni-chan. I have to say being called her big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but... Well, alright. Huh? When I turned around in response to the splashing sounds coming from the pond behind me, there are a number of fish gathered at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in demand of more food. It seems they've come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Machina, you still have breadcrumbs left? Yeah. Machina thrusts her hand into her skirt pocket and rummages through its contents. This ain't it. Not this one either. As she talks, she pulls things out of her pockets one after the other. The items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolate, and chewing gum, along with an erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue sticks. Although I've heard that women's purses are connected to the fourth dimension, this girl's pockets seem to be connected to a garbage dump. Machina carelessly rains down the rubbish that emerges on the ground around her. One after the other. What is this? I pick up a plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on the side filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain meaning. Ah, don't! That's ramen candy from Cheetah Cheetah! Give it back! I'm not gonna steal it or anything. Here, take it. When I hold out the case to her, Machina snatches it back instantly. You absolutely can't eat these, Kay? I'm not gonna sneak bites of other people's food at my age. So you say, but I ain't convinced. The world's a cruel place. I've known a certain oversized woman to say things like that, and go gorge herself in secret until she's drowning in pleasure. Amane, huh? How'd you know I was talking about Amane? Oh, that's cute. She says Amane. I forgot about that. I didn't. Just saying the first name that popped into my head. It really was her? Guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side. Don't tell her you heard it from me, okay? Here, I'll give you some bread, so let's make that a little secret. I love her dialect, kinda. Like her kinda slangy slurring of her words. I love that. Good as her word, Machina shoves some half-eaten bread under my face. There, you can have all of it. Eat it up and get all nice and plump, yeah? No, I wasn't planning to eat it. I take the bread scraps from Machina, tear off some small pieces, and throw them into the pond. The fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranha for the food, messily gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these things were carp, but now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish? Yeah, they're goldfish. I scooped them up at the Shinto festival last year. From a goldfish snatching game, huh? Yeah. If these were originally goldfish from a scooping game, they're almost certainly the tiny kind that's sold as live food for carnivorous fish in pet shops, but these things are huge. I fed them every day, and they just got bigger and bigger, you know? Fish generally can keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you feed them, the bigger they'll get. What exactly have you been giving them, though? Chunks of bread, or normal goldfish food, I guess? I feed them all the time during recess and when I get bored. I get it. You know, fish don't really know when they're full. They don't feel pain the way we do either, so they'll eat as much as you give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out. Really? The #1 cause of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. That's what it said in something I read when I was a kid, at least. You read that in a book? I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. They mentioned it in some article about raising fish in ozonated water. Huh? It was a magazine about fish? It had articles on all sorts of things, not just fish. Animals, space, whatever. My oldest sister was a seriously dedicated reader. I'd pick up magazines like that when she was finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the content of the science magazines I read back then, I suddenly remember something. Hey Machina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you? Yeah, I do, but you giving it to the fish? No, just take it out for now. Also, have anything we could use as a string? Got some cotton sewing thread. Why? You'll see. Receiving the squid from Machina, I firmly tie one end of the thread around it, then knot the other end to a tree branch I picked up at random. A fishing rod? Exactly. So now I toss the squid dangling by the thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I can see the shape of the crawfish Machina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of its face, within a matter of seconds the crawfish extends its pincers and firmly seizes the bait. There, hooked him. See that? Ah! Awesome! You caught the clawfish! It's crawfish, not clawfish. You got the word wrong. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of her eyes, Machina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity. God, this is written so well. Like, as someone who, like, is writing a book right now and, like, has been researching how to do that, like, they use a surprising amount of, like, really good literary structure here. Like, the words flow so well, and, like, they're using alliteration and everything, and, like, but they're not overdoing it just to do it, you know? Like, this is really well written, and I like it. It feels good to read. Like, it's rare that you find something like that in this kind of game. That's so good. This clawfish is bright red. I need to get used to doing Machina's voice more. There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have abundant food. What happens if they don't? They turn blue. Blue? If you take a small newborn crawfish and continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, or sardines that don't contain carotene, it'll turn blue in a month or so. You serious? I read it in a book when I was a kid, and ended up trying it out myself. There were some that ended up with a lot of violet spots or white flecks, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well. Cool, I want to try it too! Okay, then try to catch one yourself. I pull the captured crawfish off the squid to return to the pond, then hand the fishing pole to Machina. Wonder if I can catch one. I never fished before. Experiencing new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start by trying to catch one yourself. Yeah, here I go! Don't fall into the pond, alright? Also, try to get the smallest one you can. Okay, I'll do it! Taking the crude pole from me, Machina forcefully hurls the squid into the pond. Hope I can catch a clawfish. Oh, this is so nice! I love this! The music change and the animation going constantly. I already told you, it's crawfish, not clawfish. Don't worry about it, I'm an idiot. Is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as smale back when I was in elementary school for a while, but after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making that mistake. Didn't you have someone to point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for instance? Nah, since mom hates me. I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child, was my mother's line, but by now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. I suppose there really are mothers who hate their children. And for those children, that can't be a topic they want to chat about with some stranger. An awkward attempt at consolation would backfire here. You're a nice guy, Oni-chan. What, me? Seems like I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Oni-chan yet. You serious? How am I nice? Well, you didn't keep asking me about my family. Just wasn't interested enough to risk it. You're not interested in why I'm hated? I stare steadily at Makina's small back, silhouetted against the pond. If you want to talk, I'll listen. Well, it's because I'm an idiot. Don't they say that kids are cuter when they're a little dumb? You shouldn't underestimate how dumb I am, okay? Might not look it, but I'm an infamous dyed-in-the-wool idiot. Can't say I've ever heard of anyone with that fierce a reputation for being stupid before. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing but idiots in my vicinity, including me. You know, Oni-chan, I haven't been avoiding you because I hate you, you know? It's because I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you to think I'm a stupid kid. That's why I've been staying away. It's like I said, I'm surrounded by idiots. If I went around hating people for something like that, I'd run out of my supply of hate real fast. Well, there certainly are people who can't hold together their fragile sense of self-worth except by looking down on others. Even a few true idiots who take those emotions to the extreme become dictators or cult leaders and launch hunts against their inferiors. But why assume you'll be hated over something like that anyway? That way I think it seems counterproductive. Debase yourself by saying I'm just an idiot and you'll just puff up the manly self-styled geniuses of the world. But you know, I'm not pretty like Amane or smart like Yumi-chan. I don't have any talents or anything. There's no point in standing around with your mouth open waiting for the talent to fall from the sky. You make your own. Yeah, how? No matter what you're doing, the most essential thing is to not give up. Fail as many times as it takes. Keep trying persistently until you can call yourself average. Even then, you're still just average. Average is just fine. If you can collect a nice group of average level skills, that's already above average. You've created your own sort of talent. Being a hard worker is a talent in its own right, were my sister's words. And from that group of average skills, you can work to improve further on the things that you think you're suited for. A person blessed with talent, in a manner of speaking, is just someone who found a path well suited to them early on. When you get down to it, people can accomplish nearly anything as long as they don't give up. Obvious, but it's true. On the other hand, guys who give up on the first setback will never get anything done. There's no need to rush. You're still a kid. You got time. Try out anything and everything. Struggle around as much as you want. I rest my hand on Makina's head with a gentle thump. It's at just the right height for this sort of thing. That's what school is for, right? Yeah. Think so? Or you think so? At the very least, I think the principal wants this school to be that sort of place. So you might as well throw out your chest and do as many stupid things as you want. With pride. Of course, if this girl ends up doing something truly dramatically stupid, the principal will be the one facing the music, so I'm probably overstepping my bounds just a little here. So it's okay if I'm dumb? Why not? Being dumb is fine. In the first place, guys who go around calling themselves geniuses are either weaklings with fragile egos or jokers using the line to get a laugh. And even if you were some genius, that just makes it easy to mistake yourself for a perfect human and start slacking off. Hares like that get passed by the tortoises of the world eventually. Okay, you really are a nice guy, Oni-chan. Don't get me wrong, I just wanted to try playing the nice guy for a bit. You shouldn't trust me that easily, got it? I know this. It's that tsundere thing. Chiri is always practicing it, you know? Don't misunderstand and all that. How to put this? I'm not sure how I feel about being put in the same boat as that girl. Makina, I think you got a bite. What do I do? No need to rush, slowly pull it out of the water. Crawfish! Oops. I caught a crawfish! I caught it! And she corrected it. And this, I would imagine that the symbolism there kind of is that, you know, we were saying before, you know, she didn't have a person to, like, correct her on that kind of thing. And we corrected her the first time, she said it doesn't matter. And now, she corrected herself after we did. And it's almost kind of like she's acknowledging us as a person that she can, you know, look to for that kind of stuff. See? People can do anything if they try. So don't give up before you start, okay? Yeah, I'm feeling kind of confident all of a sudden. I want to take this crawfish to my room and try that experiment and turn it blue. Okay, then you should go to Amane or Sachi and see if you can find an aquarium to raise it in. Make sure only to feed it stuff without keratin. Radishes, potatoes, and sardines, that kind of thing, right? Oh, you remembered. I put my hand on Makina's head and ruffle her hair around roughly. Might be a little hard to believe, but my memory's actually pretty dang good. Alright, better get that crawfish in water while it's still in good shape. Don't overfeed it, okay? Yeah, got it! Thanks, Oni-chan! Will you play with me again? Yeah, see you later. Thanks! Makina, still clutching the crawfish, waves her hand cheerfully and takes off at full speed towards the dorm. Thanks, huh? I don't recall doing anything worthy of much gratitude, but regardless, hearing such a happy thanks feels kind of pleasant. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare, but I think being able to thank others so freely is also sort of a talent. Probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, so I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. I sort of get the feeling she may just be overlooking the talent she does have. I get it. I guess that's what makes her an idiot. They say that idiots don't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. In the same way, because Makina's an idiot, she's probably oblivious to her own abilities. Huh. Honestly, what a weird girl. But then again, weird people are rarely boring. Or so I think, basking in the peaceful, sluggish atmosphere Makina left in her wake. Man, that was awesome. That was a really long episode, but that was awesome. We got a lot of Makina time there. Alright, looks like we're going to get to talk with Michidu a bit later, which I'm happy for, because I really like Michidu. I really like all of these characters, you know. This is one of the rare instances where I actually adore, like, every character, pretty much. I will admit, Yumiko is not my favorite. She's probably my least favorite, but I do still like her. And then everyone else I pretty much adore. I don't think I could, like, Michidu, Makina, and Amane are definitely, like, the top three. It's hard to distinguish between the three as to who I like the most, but I really do like all three of them. Sachi I adore as well. And then Yumiko I like, but I'm not, like, I don't adore her. But I do still like her. And I think she's well written. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today, guys. I ranted a little bit, but that was a really nice scene. And I love the polish of this game. It's so well done. It's well written, it's well animated, it's well drawn, everything, and it's well voice acted. So, with that, thank you guys so very much for watching once again. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. I shall always read them, and I shall always take them into account. And as always, I shall see you all again next time for another episode of The Fruit of Grisaia.